Hello guys, welcome to today's episode on our content or channel. That's the right thing to say. Today's content is inspired by one of our subscribers who recently want to know how to calculate shipping fee using the sea route. Of course, we have different routes when it comes to shipping from China to Nigeria. So we have the A movement and the C movement. Of course, the A movement has to do with measurement using the kilogram, that's in kg. And then we have two factors to consider or means of moving item. We have the normal goods and the special goods. The special goods that falls under this category are liquid goods, pharmaceutical related goods, and battery kind of goods. Okay, so those kind of goods will be shipped via the Hong Kong airport to Nigeria, while the normal goods like maybe your clothes, your bags, any form of accessory that doesn't have to do with battery liquid are shipped using the Guangzhou airport to Nigeria. And the normal goods usually take 7 to 10 days depending on the freight forwarder you're going to use, while the special goods usually take from 15 to 20 days depending on the freight forwarder that you are going to use. So unlike the A freight movement where measurements are taken in kilogram, the C uses volume, and the unit for measuring that is in cbm. Okay, so that means cubic meter, and it is always measured in meter. Okay, meter cube, sorry, because you're going to take the length, the breadth, and the width of your item. So if you're carrying an item in a carton or a box, they're going to measure the length, they're going to measure the width and the breadth of your item, and then they are going to send it over to you. Okay, so hypothetically we're going to do some calculations just for you to get the essence of everything, and then we are going to practically bring in an item, an empty carton, where we are going to take the measurement and do the calculations for you to see. So this is what usually happens. For you to know something, one thing for you to know is that C movement is usually very cheap for many importers, because volume compared to kilogram, that's a huge difference. And C movement takes usually 2 to 3 months depending on the freight forwarder. So if, for instance, you have items that the volume is small but then the weight is maybe overweight, so the freight forwarder, in order for them to protect themselves, are going to charge you an extra sum just for them to not be on the losing side. And if your item weigh more than 1,000 kilograms, they are no longer going to use the volume CBM measure, they are going to measure in tons. And that is where you begin to be a macro importer. But for a mini importer, this is what we are going to deal with. So for the A calculation, I'm going to drop the link somewhere in this video so you could see how to calculate your shipping fee using the A route. If this is a content you appreciate, please kindly like this video, share, and also subscribe to this channel. And if there are any other things you would love to ask us as far as importation is concerned, you can always ask in the comment section, and we will, if in a good mood, shoot a content to treat those issues. So moving forward from here, I am going to hypothetically try to illustrate how to calculate the shipping fee using the C route. So this is what you're going to be looking at. So this is your box here. You need this various measurement. This is going to be your length. This is going to form the width, and this is going to form the height. So you need these three measurements all in meter. So these things are that you have in cube. So you're going to multiply them together, and then they're going to give you the CMB. Once you have the CMB, the freight forwarder you're using has their different charges. For instance, Sky Cargo could tell you, Skyjet could tell you that they are charging $345 per CBM, and then maybe Cash Logistic could tell you that they are charging $315 per CBM. They are other like Skyjet, Sky Cargo, and all of them. So they will have their different charges. Now, this is the amount they are going to charge you per CBM. Note that the item you're buying may not be up to a CBM. So whatever CBM you're having, you're going to multiply it by this dollar rate, and then you're going to convert it to Naira. So whatever you have here, you're going to convert it to Naira, which Naira in the black market now is 745. Okay, and that is what you're going to pay, including customer and shipping fee. So now let us hypothetically do this. Now remember that the unit for calculating all this is in meter. Okay, so if the unit of measurement you're using, for instance, like this is in cm, okay, I'm going to use this for our practical aspect of the class. If this is in cm, which it is, you're going to have to convert it to meter. Okay, and that means that if you're having, let's say, the length of this item is 100 cm, you have to multiply it by the width, which is, let's say, 37 cm, and then the height is 75 cm. That means you have to convert this to meter. That's going to give you 0.1 meter multiplied by 0.037 meter multiplied by 0.075 meter. So if you get this three together, that is 0.1 multiplied by 0.37 multiplied by 0.075. It's going to give you 0.002775 meter cube. Remember, I told you the unit for CBM is in meter cube. So that means for this particular item that you bought, this is the CBM. The CBM is 0.00277 meter cube. Now remember, I told you that for this particular company, let's say this is Skyjet, they charge $345 per CBM. So that means for this particular item you bought, it is 0.00275. So since it's not up to a CBM, 1 CBM yet, you now have to multiply this by the freight amount, which is $345. So if you multiply this by $345, it is going to give you $0.957. So that is what you're going to pay for this small item right here. And you know you're not paying in dollar, you're going to pay in Naira equivalent. So to convert this to Naira, this is equivalent to you saying 0.95 multiplied by 745 Naira. So if you multiply this by this, it's going to give you 713.2 Naira. So this is how much you're going to pay if the unit of the item were thus. Now these are all hypothetical figures I am giving you. So just so that we are clear enough, I am going to head into the practical aspect of it so we can see how the calculation is done by bringing an item up here. So we take the measurement and do the calculation. Don't forget, if you're still following us up to this point, you just have to hit the subscription button. So let us quickly take the measurement for this parcel you're seeing here. That is one of the parcels we had brought in from China. So we are going to use that to practically illustrate this same hypothetical calculation we have done here, right? So remember, the same principle holds here. All we need to do is to get the measurement for the length, the width, and the height. So using this tape here, we are going to take the first measurement, which is the length, and this is going to form our length for this particular item. So you're going to place the tape from the beginning of here to the last part of this carton. That makes it 66 cm. So the length of this carton is 60. Let's take 68 cm. That's a 68 cm for the length. 68 cm. What about the width? This is the width. The width is about 36 cm. So we have here to be the width 36 cm. And what about the height? This is the height of this parcel. So you're going to take the height. The height is 57. So we have for the height 57 cm. So now that we've gotten our the measurement for this particular parcel here, if you're sending this via air, this is going to cost you some great amount of money, and you don't know how many items can be inside this particular item, which some will be very heavy and are going to cost you a lot if you're using the A route. But that's the beautiful thing about using C. So once this measurement has been gotten, I'm going to take that off for now so we can continue with the calculation. So now that we have gotten the measurement, all we need to do now is to go into the calculation proper. Sorry, I'm doing a solo recording, so you just have to bear and learn. That's the basic or most important thing. So let us get back to the calculation proper itself. So we say the length of this item here is what? 68 cm. So we go back to the formula. The length is 68 cm. 68 cm multiplied by the width 36 cm multiplied by the height 57 cm. What did I tell you? Because we are using cm to measure, we have to convert it to meter, because the unit for measuring CBM is in meter. So what we are going to do, 68 divided by 100 gives you 0.68. So we are going to have 0.68 meter multiplied by 0.36 meter multiplied by 0.57 meter. When you multiply all this together, it's going to give you meter squared, which is your cm. That forms the volume of this carton. So 0.68 times 0.36 times 0.57. Let's do it again. 0.68 multiplied by 0.36 multiplied by 0.57 gives us equal to 0.139 meter cube. So this is the CBM of that carton, that big carton you just saw. That is the volume of that big carton you just saw. And so now this is not still up to 1 CBM, because 1 CBM would have been $345. That is what we would have just paid if the whole item we have was 1 CBM. So all you would have done is just convert $345 to Naira, which is 345 multiplied by 7.5. I'll give you what we pay in Naira equivalent. So now what do? We're going to see 0.139 multiplied by $345. How much is that going to give us? It's going to give us $48.13. So this is how much you're going to pay for that carton. Now convert this to Naira. That will be 700 and this will be 48.13 multiplied by 745. This will give you 745 multiplied by 40. That's going to give you, oh, that is missing, 48.13 multiplied by 745. It's going to give us 35,856.85. So this is how much you're going to pay in Naira equivalent if you buy a carton of goods worth this. So from China to Nigeria using the sea route, you're going to pay 35,000 Naira for that carton. But believe me, if you're using the air freight, you're going to pay way more than that. You could pay up to, let's say, maybe even 75,000 Naira. You can pay up to 75K for that carton. That carton is useful. Because going by experience, what usually contained in that carton, depending on your goods. So you can be paying something equivalent to 25K, but you're paying just 35K, or even more than 75K, depending. If your goods were really lightweight, you can pay this. But if they were heavyweight item, you can surprise to pick up to 120K for that carton. Believe me. So that is how you can calculate your shipping fee using the sea route. And I want to believe that you enjoy this content. If you have enjoyed the content, this is Verge Luxury, and I would love you to please hit the subscription button, continue to support us, and I will see you in another content or any other concern that you may have. Thanks.